Hello, Dan here, back with another brown liquor review. What we're going to be taking a look at today is Old Rip Van Winkle 10-year-old. Comes in at 107 proof, so that's good. It's very full flavored, has a nice nose to it. This is a part of the Pappy Van Winkle line that, well, as you all know, has all the hype. It's got all the hype. And a little bit more on that later. We'll talk a little bit more about how it got that hype and is it standing up to that hype now. So, one thing I wanted to point out here, and I just noticed it a little bit ago, and especially with everything that's going on in the whiskey world as far as lawsuits and all of that, the class action lawsuit that somebody has taken out on Maker's Mark and Jim Beam and so on and so forth is saying handmade. As you probably know, Old Rip Van Winkle and the rest of the Pappies are made at Buffalo Trace, which is quite a large distillery. And, you know, the handmade thing is such a subjective term, and I don't know, it'll be interesting to see if next year it'll say handmade bourbon, or if it'll say wheated bourbon. I don't know. Interesting stuff. This is a wheated bourbon. There is no rye in it, so it has a little bit more of that softer feel, rounder feel, as opposed to a high rye content, which, you know, tends to have a little bit more of that spice, a little bit more of that, you know, get you in the back of your throat. Tastes like you're eating a hot cinnamon. Not with this one. So, is it worth the hype? You know, we'll see. I'll give you my opinion, and it is just my opinion. So, we'll start with the nose. Okay, so I feel really lucky to be able to nose this. It smells really great. There is a big wood component to it. You can really smell the charred oak, the white American charred oak. And not to get too subjective here, but you ever pull like a t-shirt out of your like dressing bureau, or your you know, the furniture in which you hold t-shirts? I'm drawing a blank. Your dresser of drawers, and it's made of oak, right? So you pull it out and you smell it. You haven't worn it in a long time, and you smell it, and it smells like oak. There's a faint hint of this. I even went upstairs and grabbed a t-shirt to test it out. So that was really cool. So there's a whole bunch of other things going on in here, and it's a lot of the standard stuff that you're going to be looking for in, you know, the smell and taste of a bourbon. So, you know, you're going to have vanilla. This one's more like vanilla sugar as opposed to vanilla concentrate. You're going to have a big brown sugar component. Not as much as I was hoping for in Pappy or Old Rip Van Winkle. From what I've heard in the past, it used to just be a huge brown sugar bomb. And now, I mean, it's not much of a bomb of anything, really. Not to hate or anything, but then you have molasses, which is a common proponent. This certainly doesn't go to that extent. Brown sugar is made of sugar and molasses put together, and I put light molasses. There's a hint of it. Okay, there's ground nutmeg in there for sure. And I didn't have any toasted coconut, but I do have some coconut oil. And I'm feeling pretty certain that if we mixed all of these things together, you would have a similar smell to this. Now, the taste is similar, though I will tell you, I started out by talking about the presence of the wood in the nose, because the wood has quite a presence on the taste. It's drying, like my mouth is dry. It's from the tannins in the wood. The taste, on the other hand, is sweet. So I know it must be confusing, but a highly wooded bourbon will do that to you. I've had similar instances with really old ryes, like a Sazerac 18, which I'll review, and then Armagnacs, which I've had a 25-year-old Armagnac, and if I had to close my eyes, I couldn't tell the difference between that and an old whiskey. So, heavy wood influence here, but there's the burnt sugar, and I would say it's gone past caramel. It's not off-putting, but I'm going for that, like the dryness in my mouth. Cocoa powder, the burnt marshmallow from a campfire. You can tell that these barrels are charred pretty well, and so you get char, but you also kind of get, that smokiness that might come off of that as well. This is the 10-year-old, which for most bourbons, that's actually pretty old, but you still get that corn sweetness. There is the little bit of that spiritness in there every once in a while. And because it's wheated, and just like I said, it's soft and round, just like a wheat beer. It's just very soft and easy to drink. This is 107 proof. It is easy to drink, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot. There's this other thing that is really fun to do, especially with bourbons, and I don't know if anybody can ever explain it to me or if anyone's ever tried it before. I call it the mini slurp. Okay, so it's like you go like that, like you're kissing. So you put it and you go. When you do that, the juice, the whiskey is just completely aerated, and it just goes right into your mouth. And especially with bourbons, and I don't know if it's because of the corn sugar or just the high content of corn, but it tastes like confectionery sugar in a really good way. It's actually one of my favorite things about drinking bourbon. I love it. I love doing that. I do it all the time. And my wife gets pissed. She gets annoyed. It's really funny. And sometimes I do it in public, and she gets extraordinarily annoyed. Anyways, moving on. Rating this 1. Should you get it? Yes. Yes, you should. Can you get it? No, probably not, unless you get lucky like I did. I live in Pennsylvania, and any of you who are from Pennsylvania would know about the PA fiasco that went down when this happened. But I was lucky enough to get this one in the 12-year-old, which I will be reviewing next, at 107 proof. This one was $49.99, which I'm happy with that price, $49.99. It's a wheated bourbon. Wheated bourbons just aren't my favorite. So I would give this an 89 out of 100. And I would say if you ever get the chance to have one, then you should buy one. If it's in that $50 range. You'll see these things for as much as, I don't know, it gets crazy, $100, $200. At that price, don't buy that. Get a whole bunch of other bottles of really good bourbon for that much money. Okay. Why is this thing so hard to get? We can thank Anthony Bourdain and David Chang for that. Two guys that I am huge fans of. Part of the reason why I went through the PA fiasco to try to get this stuff. I respect them. I don't think it's totally their fault, but we want what chefs want these days. And so it's good stuff. It's good for the market price. I'm sorry, not the market price, the listed price. $50. The 12-year-old I got for $59.99. Okay? Don't pay some ridiculous amount of money somewhere else. Just wait your turn. You'll get it. Maybe you can make a trade with somebody. It's not as good as the hype says. It's just not. I mean, I thought that I would be drinking like liquid brown sugar magic. I don't know. I'm glad I have it though. So next year, whenever PA does their same kind of nonsense again, will I be trying to get a 20-year-old or the rye, the 13-year-old rye? Yeah, I will be. So it just is what it is. But what I'm saying is, don't waste your money on secondary markets. Wait your turn. You'll get it. And when you do, enjoy it. Enjoy it with your friends. And either that or just enjoy it on a nice day. Thank you for joining me again. I hope to see you soon. And I'm just getting started, so if you're watching this and you like it, then share it. Give me a like. Heck, even subscribe if you want. I'll try to make it worth your while. I enjoy doing this. This is really fun. So, until next time, this is Brown Liquor Reviews, and have a great evening.